Hello viewers, welcome to K Diagnostics. Dio here. Today we have a 2006 Dodge Sprinter with a 3.0 liter. The customer complaint on this vehicle is the check engine light remains on while the engine is running. The customer also stated that he has noticed that the glow plug light remains on long enough after the engine has been running. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to confirm the customer's complaint. After confirming the customer's complaint, we're going to connect the scan tool to the vehicle to see what kind of trouble codes we have in the engine computer. After we retrieve the trouble codes, then we will know what directions we're going to go so we can fix whatever that's causing the check engine lights to remain on. So now let's go inside the vehicle and confirm the customer's complaint. Alright, so now I'm going to start the engine so we can confirm the customer's complaint. So as you can hear, the engine is running. So right there, the check engine light remained on and the glow plug light also remained on. So the customer is complaining about this light, but he also said that the glow plug light will remain on for a lot longer than it used to. Okay, so we have confirmed the customer's complaint. So now I'm going to turn off the engine. I'm gonna get a scan tool connected to the vehicle, and then I'll bring you guys back up so we can scan this vehicle to see what kind of trouble codes we have in the engine computer. So let me turn off the engine. I mean, with the glow plug remaining on for a lot longer, I'm pretty sure we have a problem with the glow plug circuit. So let's turn the key on. I'm gonna get the scan tool connected and then I'll bring you guys back up. Alright, so I got the scan tool connected. So now let's scan this. So this is a Dodge right here. So the scan tool has identified the vehicle. So everything looks good. So now let's do a full system scan on it. So this is gonna scan all the modules on the vehicle. Alright, so right here we have two trouble codes in the engine computer. The first trouble code is 2355, exhaust gas recirculation control, air mass too large. And then the other trouble code is 2270, glow plug control unit, glow plug not activated. So this code is what's causing the glow plug light to remain on for a long time. Okay, so let's scroll down and see what other trouble codes we have. So we have two trouble codes over here. So two trouble codes in the tire pressure monitor control unit. We have one trouble code in the generic side of the scan tool, so the OBD2 generic side, and the trouble code is P0670, glow plug control module 1, control circuit open. So this is good to know. So now what I want to do is I want to focus on this trouble code first. So in this video I'm going to address this trouble code. I will address this other trouble code probably in another video. So we're gonna focus on this glow plug control unit, glow plug not activated trouble code. Okay, so now what we need to do is we have to get inside the engine computer. So we're gonna click on engine. So this is pretty easy and self-explanatory. So basically what's happening is that the glow plug control module is either not working or not sending power to the glow plugs. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to back out of here, and actually let's go to the generic side of the scan tool. Actually, before we go to the generic side, let's go to service info. Let's see how this glow plug is wired. I mean, the glow plug module is wired. Alright, so here is the glow plug control module. So right there it says glow plug module. So basically this module over here sends power to the glow plugs. Okay, these are all the glow plugs, and the glow plugs are grounded through the cylinder head. Okay, now when we look at the glow plug module, the glow plug module has a ground wire. Okay, so there's ground, brown wire, and then there's communication. So as you can see here, it says lean bus. Okay, so it communicates on the network through this wire over here. So dark blue wire with a red tracer. So this is a communication line, and then there is a power supply wire. So I'm pretty sure there is constant system voltage on this wire. And then the other wire over here, this green, so this black and dark green wire, so this wire over here, if we follow it, so we're following this wire, guys, I'm sure it goes to a fuse. So if you come over here, it actually splices to these components over here. So what is this? Intake swirl servo motor. Okay, so we're gonna continue following this wire. So if we follow this wire over here, so number one, if we follow this wire here, so it actually goes to a fuse in the fuse box. Okay, so there will be system voltage on this wire with the key on or the engine running. Okay, so let's go back to the glow plug module. Alright, so right here, guys, so we're gonna have system voltage on this wire, this red wire. We will have a communication here. We can use our lab scope to back probe this wire. With the key on or with the engine running, we should have some type of square wave or pulse width modulated signal here. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a square wave on this lean bus communication line, and we're going to have ground here on this brown wire. We're going to have system voltage on this green wire, and then the rest of the wires are going to the glow plugs. So let's go under the hood and check the glow plugs first. Let's make sure that there's power going to the glow plugs. We're gonna find one glow plug and disconnect it. Then we're gonna connect our test light. So we're gonna bypass one glow plug with a test light. We're gonna connect our test light to ground, and we're gonna touch the other side of the test light to this wire over here, any of these wires. So when we turn the key on, if the glow plug module is sending power to the glow plugs, our test light should light. Okay, if our test light lights, that will tell us that the glow plug module is good. If the test light doesn't light, then we will know that the problem is here at the module, and I'm pretty sure the problem is at the module. So let's go check that first, and then we will check power and ground at the glow plug module. So now let's go under the hood. Alright guys, so we are here under the hood. Here is the glow plug relay. So right over there is the glow plug module. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the air filter box. We're going to get access to the glow plugs under this cover. Then we will use a test light to test the glow plug control module. We got to make sure that the module is sending power to the glow plugs. So I'll get this box removed, and then I'll bring you guys back up. Alright, so we got the air filter box out of the way. So here is one glow plug. So this wire over here is the wire for the glow plug. So here is one glow plug. So I'm gonna get this disconnected. So I'm gonna pull this out. Right, so here is the glow plug connector. Okay, so this connector over here goes to the glow plug down there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my test light so we can test this and make sure that there's power coming to this wire. Alright, so here's my test light. I'm gonna connect it to ground. And then this side of the test light is gonna go to this glow plug wire. Chris, can you turn the key on for me, please? So this side of the test light is gonna go to this wire. And then, so
Clear, key on.
now turn the key off. No, off. Okay, yeah. Now turn the key all the way off.
All the way off.
Now on. Okay, off. Okay, that's good. Awesome. You can leave it off.
Alright, he's off.
Awesome, thanks. So, as you guys saw, there's no power going to this glow plug wire, okay? So with the test light connected to ground, the key was turned on a couple times, the test light didn't light. Now, you might say if my test light is good, actually, we can check that. There is power over here at this power post. So let me make sure I can touch this. So right there, my test light lights. So there is no power going to this glow plug. And I'm pretty sure there's no power going to any of the glow plugs. So now we're gonna get this glow plug module out. I'm gonna undo these two bolts that hold the glow plug module down, and then we will check power and ground at the glow plug module. So the glow plug module is not sending power to the glow plugs. So now I'm gonna get this module unbolted, and then I'll bring you guys back up. Alright guys, so I unbolted the glow plug module. So now let's see what we got. So here is our glow plug module. So now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check our powers and grounds at the module. We have to make sure that the module is receiving power and ground. Okay, so this heavy gauge wire over here is a power supply wire. I'm gonna have to disconnect this, and I still have my test light connected to ground, so that's good. So now I'm gonna disconnect this cable over here. Disconnect this. So right there. So the pin looks good. So with our test light connected to ground, if we touch this, if there's power here, our test light should light. And right there, as you can see, our test light lights. So that's good. So now we're gonna test the other power wire, which is this black wire with the green tracer. So I'm gonna get a back probing tool. We're gonna back probe this wire, and we're gonna turn the key to the on position. With the key on, we should have power on this wire, okay? And then the other wire we're gonna test will be this brown wire. And this brown wire is a constant ground. Okay, so let me get my back probing tool, and then we will test these wires. Alright, so I turned on the key in the vehicle. So now we're gonna back probe this black wire with the green tracer. So my test light is still connected to ground. So I'm gonna touch this. As you can see, when I touch this back probing tool over here, my test light lights. So right there. So we have power at that wire. So it means the glow plug module is receiving all the power it needs to work. So now we're gonna test the ground wire, which is this brown wire over here. So I'm gonna back probe this. Okay, so now we're gonna switch our test light to battery positive. So we're gonna connect our test light here. So now our test light is connected to battery positive. Now if I touch ground, my test light should light. So right there, when I touch this turbo, my test light lights. So now let's make sure there's ground at this glow plug module. So if I touch this back probing tool and my test light lights, that will tell me that there's ground going to the glow plug module. So let's do that. So right there, my test light lights. So there's ground going to the glow plug module. So now the last thing we're gonna test is this communication wire, okay? This lean bus wire. So I'm gonna back probe this, and then I'm gonna bring up my lab scope. We're gonna get the lab scope set up. I will get this connected to my lab scope test lead, and then with the key on, we will see what kind of signals we're gonna have on this wire, okay? So I'll get the lab scope set up, and then I'll bring you guys back up. All right, guys, so before we set up our lab scope, I wanna show you once again what we did under the hood. So what we first did under the hood was finding one of these glow plugs. We disconnected one, we connected our test light to battery ground, and we touched one of these wires. With the key on, there was nothing happening to the test light. So the test light didn't come on. So with the test light not lighting, it told me that the problem is either the wiring between the glow plug and the module, or the problem is the module itself. So we came to the module, we checked this heavy gauge wire, which is this fused B positive wire. So this wire has power all the time. So we connected our test light to ground and we touched this wire, our test light lit. So that told me that there's power on this wire and the module is receiving power through this wire. The next test we did, we checked this green wire, this black wire with a dark green tracer, this wire over here. With the key on, we connected our test light to ground, we touched this wire, our test light lit. So our glow plug module is receiving power. And then the next test we did, we swapped our test light to power or battery power, and we touched this brown wire, so this ground wire that supplies ground to the glow plug module. With our test light connected to battery power, the test light lit. So that told me that the glow plug module is receiving ground. So now the last test we're gonna do is checking this dark blue wire with a red tracer, which is this computer data lines system, so this lean bus wire. So I'm gonna get a lab scope set up. We're gonna back probe this wire. If we see a square wave with the key on at the glow plug connector, then we will know that there is communication on this wire. So this wire is not open, okay? Because the computer uses this wire to control the glow plug module so that the module can heat up the glow plugs. So if there is an open between this wire and the computer won't be able to control the glow plugs. So if we have some type of waveform at this wire over here, then the problem will just be the glow plug module. So now let's go back under the hood and test this lean bus wire. Alright, so I got my lab scope test lead connected to the lean bus wire on the glow plug module. So now we're gonna set up our lab scope. So it looks like we have system voltage on that lean bus wire. Okay, so if we look here, you'll see that we have 11.84 volts. Okay, so we are connected to that wire over there. So now I'm gonna go inside the vehicle and turn on the key to see if we will have some type of square wave on this wire. So now let's go in the vehicle and turn the key on. So the key is on. Alright, so right now we have a square wave on the lab scope screen, so which tells me that there's communication on this wire. Okay, so the problem is the glow plug module. So the module is defective. So right there we do have a 0 to 12 volt square wave. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect this module. So let's get this module disconnected and see what happens. So right there, we got the module disconnected. So with the module disconnected, let's look at the lab scope screen. We still have our square wave on the lab scope screen. Okay, so this is the problem, guys. The glow plug module is defective. Okay, because if this glow plug module was good, after connecting this electrical connector and then this one, okay, and my test light connected to ground. So I'm gonna make sure my test light is connected to ground, and my test light connected to ground. With this glow plug wire being disconnected and my test light being connected to ground, once I touch here with the key on, my test light will light. So as you can see, my test light is not lighting, so it means the glow plug module is not sending power to the glow plugs. So that's why the glow plug light is remaining on for a long time after the engine has been started. So that's notifying the driver that the glow plug system has a problem. Okay, so at this point I'm going to get another glow plug module. I will get this module ordered. Once I get a new module, I'll bring you guys back up so we can install it. And I'm sure once we install a new module, we will now have power at the glow plug wire. Okay, so as you can see, we have our communication message right there, so that's good. So I'm gonna bring you guys back up once I get the new glow plug module. Alright guys, so we are back here under the hood. I did get a new glow plug module from Napa. So here is the part number. So our new glow plug module has arrived. So let me get it out of the box. So here is the new glow plug module. So it looks slightly different from the original one, but it's gonna do the job. Okay, this looks a little small. I mean, it's an aftermarket one. So this is what we're gonna install. Okay, so there's one thing I want to do before. I mean, we already confirmed that this glow plug module is bad, but there's one more thing I want to do before we install this new module. Since I'm here by myself, I don't have a helper to turn on the key for me so we can see the test light once we install the new glow plug module. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bidirectional test on the scan tool, okay, to turn on the glow plugs. So since I have my test light connected to one glow plug wire and the other side of the test light is connected to ground, so if I back out of here, I mean the old glow plug module is still connected. So if we go to scanner and we go to functional test, let me make sure that the key is on. So key is on. Let's go back under the hood. Let's go to actuator test. Glow plugs, so right there. Glow plugs. So now we're turning on the glow plugs. As you can see, we're turning on the glow plugs and our test light is not lighting. Okay? So the key is on in the vehicle, and right there, nothing is happening to the test light. Let's do that once again. I mean, we have checked our powers and grounds at the glow plug module. Our communication line is good because right now, as you can see, nothing is happening. If we go to the lab scope, you will see that we have communication to this module. Okay, so the problem is this module, right? So now let's disconnect this module and install the new module, and then we're going to do the same test again to see if with the new module installed, let's see if the test light will now light. If the test light lights, that tells me that there's now power going to the glow plugs. So let's get this glow plug module replaced. So now let's bring the new module here. So that's connected. So this is also connected. So we're good. So the new module has been installed. So now we're gonna turn on our glow plugs. And look at the test light now. You see how the test light is glowing? You see that? And right there. So the scan tool has stopped and our test light went off. So let's do that once again. So you see the test light flickering now. The test light is now flickering while we're commanding the glow plugs on with the scan tool. Once it stops, the the test light stops flickering. Once again, once we turn that on, the test light starts to flicker. Okay, so there's the test light lights. So now there's power going to the glow plugs. Okay, so the problem was a defective glow plug relay. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the lab scope out of here. I'm gonna install the glow plug. So I'm gonna bolt the glow plug control module, and then we're gonna put everything back together and start the engine, and this vehicle is fixed. So I'm gonna get this stuff out of here and then I'll bring you guys back up. Alright, so the new glow plug module is installed. So now we're gonna install the engine covers. Alright, so I got everything back together. Everything is tightened. So now let's go inside the vehicle and verify our repair. Alright guys, so we are back in the vehicle. So now we're gonna erase our trouble codes. So let's go to the scanner first. Alright, so we're gonna erase the trouble codes. So the codes are erased. So let's check and make sure there are no trouble codes present. So right there, we no longer have any trouble codes present. So now I'm gonna start the engine. If everything is fine, after turning the key to the on position, the glow plug light is gonna go off. Now when I start the engine, the check engine light will go off. And as you can see, the glow plug light is not remaining on for a long time. And the check engine light is also off. So that's good. I'm gonna have to fix the other trouble code in another video. I will focus on that trouble code afterwards. I have the trouble code saved, so I will do some research about the other trouble code and then I'll fix it. I don't know if I'm gonna film that. I'm gonna have to decide that. So this first trouble code has been fixed, so I'm gonna turn off the engine. So as you can see, the glow plug light is no longer remaining on for a long time. Check engine light is also no longer remaining on, so that's good. So right there, all the lights are off. Okay, so that's good. This is fixed, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the report once again on the scan tool. So let's go back to the home tab. So basically, we already fixed the glow plug. So we fixed this code over here, 2270 trouble code, this glow plug control unit, glow plug not actuated trouble code. So this is what we fixed. So the remaining code is the 2355 exhaust gas recirculation control air mass too large. So this is the one I'm gonna have to fix next. So I'm gonna do some research about this trouble code, and then I will see if I'm gonna film fixing this trouble code also. Okay, so but for this glow plug problem, this is fixed. This is good to go. So I'm gonna leave this right over here, guys. I hope you like this video. This is how you check a glow plug control module on a Sprinter van. Most of the Sprinter van, especially the 3.0, are all the same. Whether it's a Dodge Sprinter or a Mercedes Sprinter, they're all the same. Okay, so let's start this once again. Right there, sounds good. Check engine light is off, glow plug light is off, so we're good to go. So I'm gonna leave this right over here, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you do like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumb down. But if you do, you gotta tell me why, so we can make better videos in the future. If you have any questions, comments, criticism, leave them in the comment box. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.